Today, the thoughts of the day is the gift of being seen and heard. Now, let me ask you, raise your hand if that has ever happened to you. You're excitedly telling someone about something important. Maybe you got selected for something, or you're struggling with a decision. And halfway through your story, they pick up their phone to check a notification. Now, how did that make you feel? And now, think of a time when someone gave you their complete attention. No phone, no distractions, just their eyes on you and their mind focused on your words. I bet you still remember that person fondly, don't you? Yeah. So, today we are going to talk about something that costs nothing but is worth everything: the gift of being truly seen and heard, and why it might be the most powerful tool you have to transform relationships and change lives. So let me tell you about Priya, 17-year-old I know. She scored 85% in her boards, a fantastic achievement by any standard. But when she excitedly called her father to share the news, his first response was, Beta, good, but Sharma's uncle got 90%. What happened in maths? And in that moment, Priya's, you know, joy deflated like a punctured balloon. It wasn't really about the grades. It was about not being seen for her effort, her improvement, her achievement. And this is what happens when we live in a world of constant comparison instead of acknowledgement. And Indian families, often so focused on what's missing, what could be better, what others are achieving, and that we forget to see what's right in front of us: a human being who just wanted to be acknowledged. No, acknowledgement is actually emotional oxygen. When someone truly sees you, your struggles, your efforts, your growth, something inside you comes alive. And it's the difference between feeling like you are shouting into the void and feeling like you matter. And think about your own life. The teachers you remember fondly weren't necessarily the ones who gave you the highest marks. They were the ones who saw your potential, acknowledged your effort, and made you feel visible. The friends you're closest to aren't the ones who have the most in common with you. They are the ones who truly listen when you speak. And here's a scene every Indian household will recognize: family dinner, and your teenager is trying to tell you about their day. But the TV is on, someone's phone is buzzing, mom is thinking about tomorrow's lunch boxes, and dad is mentally reviewing a work presentation. Everyone hears the words, but is anyone actually listening? And many a times our mentor, Mr. Imran, has said it in our, sessions, in his sessions, that we shouldn't listen only from the ears, but from the eyes as well. That keeps us focused, that keeps the other person being present. And maybe that is one of the reasons he always insists on keeping our videos on, because it gives him the feeling that all are there, being present, and they are hearing him out. And that's a wonderful feeling. Hearing is passive, it's what your ears do automatically. But listening is an active choice. It's leaning instead of leaning back. It's asking, how did that make you feel? So instead of immediately jumping to solutions, it's putting down your phone and picking up your curiosity. So let me give you a real example. Last week, a friend told me about a difficult conversation with her mother in law. My first instinct was to offer advice. You should do this, you should say that. But instead, I caught myself and asked, that sounds really challenging. How are you feeling about it? And you know what happens next was beautiful. She didn't need my solutions, she needed my attention. As she spoke, she actually solved the problem herself. She just needed someone to witness her thinking process, to validate her feelings, and to remind her that her perspective mattered. And this is the magic of true listening. You don't need to have all the answers. Sometimes the most healing thing you can offer someone is your complete presence, making the other person realize that you are there. And there's something fascinating. In Indian culture, we are taught to be humble about our achievements and problems. Log kya kahenge governs so much of our behavior. But the same culture that teaches us modesty often forgets to teach us validation. So, validation doesn't mean agreeing with everything someone says, it means acknowledging their experience as real and important to them. It's saying, I can see you'd feel that way instead of you are overreacting. So I watched a beautiful example of this at a family gathering recently. A teenage cousin was upset about not making it to the college cricket team. So instead of the usual, don't worry, focus on studies, his grandmom said, you practice so hard for this. I can see how disappointed you must be. That's it. No lecture, no comparison, no immediate solution, just validation. And I watched this boy's shoulder relax. His guard comes down. And later he opened up about the real issue. He was feeling pressure to excel at everything and afraid of disappointing the family. And when we validate someone's feelings, we create psychological safety. We're essentially saying, your inner world matters to me. And in that safety, people bloom. They become more authentic, more creative, more willing to be vulnerable and real. Think of a plant that's been kept in a dark room for weeks. Its leaves are pale, growth stunted, vitality diminished. But place it in sunlight and watch the transformation. Within days, the leaves turn vibrant green, it stands taller, it begins to flourish in ways you never imagined possible. So, being truly seen and heard is sunlight to the human soul. When someone gives you their complete attention, when they listen not to respond, but to understand, when they see not just your words, but your heart, something inside you awakens. I've seen shy teenagers become confident speakers when a teacher truly listened to their ideas. I watched strained marriages heal when couples learn to see each other again instead of just coexisting. I've seen workplace relationships transform when colleagues started acknowledging each other's contributions instead of taking them for granted. So, just like sunlight doesn't force a plant to grow, it simply provides the conditions for natural flourishing. So, your attention doesn't change people by force, it creates the conditions where their authentic self can emerge and thrive. And here's the beautiful paradox: the more sunlight you give to others, the more you receive in return. When you become known as someone and who truly sees and hears people, you attract deeper and more meaningful relationships. You become the person other turns to, not just in crisis, but in celebration too. So here's my challenge for you today. And it's simpler than you think, but more powerful than you can imagine. Choose one person in your life. It could be a family member, a friend, a colleague, even someone you've been taking for granted, and give them the gift of your complete attention. And here's how: find 10 to 15 minutes today to have a real conversation with them. Put away all distractions, phone, TV, laptop, everything. Look them in the eyes. Ask them for a genuine question. How are you really doing? Or what's been on your mind lately? And then this is the crucial part: listen without interrupting. Don't prepare your response while they are talking. Don't jump to solutions. Don't relate it back to your own experience immediately. Just listen. And after they finish sharing, reflect back what you heard. It sounds like you're feeling, or what I'm hearing is. So, this isn't about being a therapist, it's about being human. So, pay attention to what happens. Notice how their body language changes. Notice how your relationship shifts. Notice how good it feels to truly connect with another person. Because in our hyper connected world, we created a paradox that we are more connected than ever. Yet, many people feel invisible, unheard, and alone. Your WhatsApp may have 200 contacts, but how many people truly see you? And more importantly, how many people do you truly see? The gift of being seen and heard isn't reserved for special occasions or therapy sessions. It's an everyday miracle you can offer freely, generously, and without limit. Every time you choose presence over distraction, curiosity over judgment, and listening over waiting to speak, you're offering someone a piece of sunlight. Remember, in a world full of noise, your attention is sacred. In a culture of quick fixes, your patience is revolutionary. And in relationships built on surface interactions, your depth is a gift that keeps giving. So you have the power to make someone feel seen today. You have the ability to help another human being bloom. The question isn't whether you have the time for this. The question is, can you afford not to make this time? So start today. Start with one person. Start with one conversation. Watch how the simple act of truly seeing and hearing someone can transform not just their day, but their sense of worth, belonging, and hope. The world needs more sunlight, and you, right where you are, with whoever you meet today, you can be that light. And with that thought, thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you.